Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Friendly Fire, the show where we bring two members of our talent team, pit them against one another on one topic, and give them 45 seconds to argue yes or no on the subject matter. I'm Milosh, and joining me today are Dez and Hap. How are you boys doing today?
Very well. As usual, Dez is going to be trying to rip into me like he always does during the broadcast as well, and now during Friendly Fire. So I'm very excited.
You're going a little bit far here. You just asked how we were, and frankly, Milosh, I'm feeling absolutely fantastic. No doubt feeling better in about 3 minutes' time when Hap is in a grave in the ground.
There is a pretty deep one to go through here in Europe. If everybody's been living under a rock, or some people have been living under a rock for the past 2 weeks, Pengu's retired. This is the moment where, men cry. They, it's fine to cry regardless, but still, this is the big moment. It turns boys to men. But this is it. Pengu's retired. Big changes, big shifts in G2 and all over Europe. But with the biggest name player in the entirety of Rainbow Six retiring, are G2 just better off actually without him? That's the topic. That's the controversial one that we have for you today. So the answers are yes, no, and why on each one of these. Yay or nay? Gentlemen, please, Hajime.
I know Dez is not going to be agreeing with me on this one, but I generally believe that in the long run, it is going to be better for G2. Pengu is and was a legend to the scene, but at some point, the old guard will have to retire. And Kayak is coming in right now. He's a young gunner. He has his own playstyle, his own personality, and that is something that is really important to be noticed by the actual G2 fans. The sooner, the better. Now, the reason I do think G2 is better off is due to the fact that having a player on your team that has been thinking about retiring for the past 2 years is going to withhold you from reaching your maximum potential. And with him gone and replaced with someone who actually really wants to perform and still needs to reach these heights, I think in the long run, G2 is really going to be, stepping it up over that case.
Okay. Solid or not, you're going to have to tell us, Des, what's your counterpoint?
I mean, even you sounded unsure about Milosh, his answer there, sorry. I thought it was a bit weak. Let's give you a real argument for this one, shall we? So, look, 1st of March did mark the end of an era when Pengu announced his retirement from competitive play. He stepped down, that's it, done. And he did say that he'd been thinking about this for a couple of years, so people like Hap will tell you that G2 are better off without someone like that on their team. I'm here to tell you that people like Hap are completely wrong. Look, this is not at all a slight against Kayak. I'll be the first to be screaming yak attack whenever he pops off in a game, but the pain of losing a consistent, established player is a terrifying prospect for G2. He's the best clutcher we've ever seen, held the 3rd highest rated KD differential player across the entire world, and won the 6th Invitational back-to-back. Kayak could be amazing, but without any Tier 1 experience, are you really going to back the belief that G2 are better off without Pengu? That's a strange hill to die on, Hap. Strange hill indeed.
Fabian has called officially, and you will never hear Fabian say this ever again, is called Pengu the greatest of all time. He is 100% the greatest of all time. The question is, though, how will things fare for G2 and with Kayak joining the team? Of course, big shoes, but that's where you start to learn. New talent has to come at some point in Europe, and that's what we're waiting all for during the 2021 league. Hapdes, thank you so much for being on here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can tell us what you think about all of this. Pengu out, good for G2 or not? That's the big question. We want to hear your opinions on it in the comments on Twitter, as Des shaking his head, of course. And till then, we're going to see how things shape up in the EU League 2021 season, and we'll see you on the next episode of Friendly Fire.